to this higher rate. So that's what this energy that we're feeling is now for that 13,000 years, our solar system has been slowing down, and then so once we go around that corner, which we did, now everything's going to start speeding up, and so our bodies are crazy sensitive to that with the slightest change.
Right.
So if we aren't looking to this dynamic change in energy, then it basically freaks us out because we don't know what to do with it. So that's why. So you see the way people are acting, right?
Right.
So
I feel it myself sometimes.
Yeah.
That crushed feeling, and
Yeah.
I realize I feel it off of someone else if I go out into the world.
Right.
It makes me want to meditate to recenter and that.
Right.
So an empath is going to be feeling other
That's the
people's.
thing, and it's only if I choose to talk with the person who's having that energy, and I can choose not to, but sometimes I don't. And I think I'm realizing that I'm at a point in my life where I'm entering a chapter that I shouldn't talk to them if I feel that energy that it's going to mess up where I'm at. Because
Right.
I've done that work. Maybe I've already done that.
So in other words, this really isn't a philosophy. We can kind of feel it taking place. And especially being a age of information, we're getting all this information like never before. And notice that everywhere I travel, everybody's getting a memo about fasting. Intermittent fasting, every country I go to, somebody's doing it. And now we got the internet with YouTube, Google. I mean, they got so many medical benefits of not eating. It's mind-boggling, and everybody's learning it. So just from the information that humanity's getting, kind of back up what you're saying, this must be an age of enlightenment where the average Joe that's walking the street could be knowledgeable. They don't even need to go to college. They could be knowledgeable. They can learn about themselves and go into self-mastery. This is heavy, ain't it? So that's one proof right there. And even the external technology, it's moving at such a fast rate that the laws and policies can't even keep up with it. That's how fast it's going. So this cell phone's already outdated, and this is an iPhone 11. It's already outdated. I think I'm doing something. Somebody else somewhere else. That's where it's at. It's going so fast. So this breatharian knowledge, and not just this knowledge, there's a lot of things that resurrected itself that's coming back, being changed, that's coming back to humanity, dealing with spirituality. We don't need to use that word spirituality no more. We can use that word energy. It makes sense. This is a biocomputer, a biomachine. All you're doing is trading from one fuel to another, one thought process to another, and you can recreate your life. Even in science, they're telling you what? Consciousness is the final frontier. We already mapped out Arizona. Now ain't no fun no more. Okay, the rock is over there. This is where the big ball game is at. How do you use it? And Athena brought up a good point today. We was talking about that movie Superman. He's on this planet, but before even though he was born with these powers, when he was a kid, it used to bother him. He used to hear things. He didn't know what he was hearing. His seeing, don't know why he could see things. But he had to learn how to use his abilities, and that's what's happening with a lot of people now. You're too sensitive. You don't know why you're picking things up because you don't know how to use your abilities. And that's all you're doing. And see, the breatharian knowledge, like I said, it goes way beyond eating or not eating. We ain't even talking about that. A breatharian is an advanced energy worker. That's basically what it is. You're advanced. You could pick something up, lay it down. All you're doing is having a life experience. You hear that, but how much are you really taking it to be true? Certain things don't need to stick you down. You understand? You stuck there. That's a consciousness. You can put it down when you feel like it. Ain't nobody say you got to keep it. Somebody telling me about myself from years ago. Tell me something I don't know. That ain't me no more. Right. You can change. You can shift. We do it all the time. So now we learning what? Even our thinking is a vehicle. That ain't even you. Uh-oh. Now in metaphysics, they use a term called higher self. And have you ever heard that? Your higher self. Now they had to put higher on there so you won't be arrogant.
Or spirit guides.
Spirit guides, higher self.
And I think the spirit guide thing was funny when I heard somebody say, I said, oh, well, I'm glad I got this information. Now I can stop thinking it's outside of me.
Now you just, right, to bring it back home.
It's not multiple different spirit guides. That
Right.
would be angels to me.
So it's all you.
It's on me.
See, this is
But
good.
that can be too overwhelming.
Right.
And so I think that idea is helpful for people who are, that's too overwhelming for them, that they might even hurt themselves over it. Because
Right.
they're not mentally stable.
So different schools of thought, they all talk about the same thing. It's just dealing with the wording.
Well, it's the consciousness too that you're
It's a
choosing.
consciousness.
If you
Because
look
just
at
using God, we can use the word God, but since we don't want to use that word, we'll use higher self. It's talking about the same thing. It's just who's user friendly on using it. Some
Yeah,
people.
right.
Right. Okay,
Just
you're a
use
God,
it.
but just use a little g.
Just to get you there.
Whoa. But you're a creator. That's what you're doing. And the Breatharian knowledge is basically saying you're taking full responsibility of your abilities. That's all you're doing. If you're a God, you're self-sustaining. You're all by yourself. Everything is you. That's how you start thinking. Everything in your reality, you put it there. That's a heavy piece, ain't it? So how does an apple, this molecule, supposed to sustain this? Your higher self. But listen at this now. How do you connect with your higher self? Now, we put that word higher on it, so we start looking up automatically. It's really you. But we put that word higher on there to say there is a separation. And what it is vibration-wise. Now, Michael said that we are transforming just by the planetary movement transforming. Basically, that's what you're saying. We're one with it. So you're going to change regardless, just like fleas on a dog. If the dog's taking a bath, the flea's going to take a bath too. That's what's happening. So, this transformation is saying we're light beings. If the planetary movement is going into the light, everything on it is going into the light. We're light beings by nature. So light work is easy for you. You know how to do it. But like that movie Superman, you're hearing things, seeing things, don't know why you feel this way, don't know why foods now is making you feel bad. Because it's denser. You are a light being transforming into something else. So the Breatharian knowledge is just here as a catalyst of education so you can know what's taking place and so you can become a good light worker, a high vibration. Fear, that's a low vibration. Anger, that's a low vibration. You ain't got to think that way. That ain't even in your nature. You're supposed to smile all the time. Right. What's wrong with that? I just met a friend up north, one of my good friends. Now listen at this. Some people think it's impossible. They a nice person. They had nice neighbors. They was in a nice relationship. Had a nice house. Even the neighborhood was nice. Even the cat was nice. But there's some people think that that's impossible. Something got to be wrong with your life. No, it ain't. That's the lower vibration. It taught people that. Waking up on the wrong side of the bed. But the person was saying, no, I'm a high vibrational being. It's supposed to be like that. So again, the Breatharian knowledge is putting you back into the driver's seat of your true identity. Your true identity, I'm going to shoot straight from the hip. You're the creator. That's your higher self. Now, science is kind of backing you up because you're more than just this physical body. You extend bigger than this. Because physical matter, as you look at it, is just a small portion of what you're seeing. So that's why in religion they say you need to develop a sixth sense. You ever heard of that? You got your five senses, and that's what people going off of. But in spirituality, they're saying you need to develop something else. A sixth sense. Now, what is a sixth sense? It's a feeling state. You only got one sense. For you to see something, for me to even see you, I'm touching you right now. Because your image had to touch my retina of my eyes for me to see you. There ain't no space in between us, just for me to see you. Just for you to see the sun. You touched it. That's how big you are. You don't realize you touched it. For you to even see it and identify it's there, y'all made contact. It don't matter if they say it's 93 million miles away. You just touched it. When you hear something, it had to touch your eardrums for you to even hear it. This is powerful, ain't it? That's how powerful you are. So the breatharian knowledge is at least giving you a what? Pathway to come back into your true power. Uh-oh. Now, one time I had a relative, they was going to put me in my place. But they think I was breaking the rules. You walking around talking about you ain't eating it, la, 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 la. Let me tell you about reality. Right. And this is what they did. They told me about reality. You got to drink water. They were smoking their cigarette.
Very typical.
Right. And look at this. You got to eat. Their stomach was rolled out. Right.
Every time.
They was telling me about reality. And what they told me was reality. That was their reality. Oh, man, I can't argue with it. I was saying everything you said, you do need to do it.
So your family doesn't believe that you don't eat?
Well, not the whole family. I mean, my son, he's my #1 fan.
Yeah.
He's actually, well, because I had a chance to raise him. Get him away from everybody else. He asked me when he was a kid, he was looking up in the sky, I guess somebody took him to church. He was like, where's God at? And I said, what you see up in the sky? Clouds? I said, well, who just bought you those shoes and provided for you? Right. Whose likeness and image you in? All right. So I stuck with him ever since. He off to the races. But we just made it real. See, one thing about the breatharian knowledge is just taking the myth out of things and making it real. Now listen at that word real again. And they got a good show in. One of your best shows that comes on TV is what? Reality shows. Reality shows. Seeing everyday people's lives. And most reality shows, they argue and get mad at each other. But people like seeing that. Reality shows. So I got my new Pranic TV station. And all we're doing is a reality show of good things. That's all we did. Turn it around. This is how a breatharian live. We having fun every day. Breathing. Living. You should be happy. You should make the day happy, not the day make you happy. You're a light being.
I like that.
Right. Waiting for some moment to come along. You the moment. Oh, man.
That's it.
That's what's nourishing you.
That's it.
It's a consciousness again. Now listen at this. I know Jerome a good reader for me. You feel like reading for me today?
Sure.
Jerome's awesome. Now listen at this. We was just talking about reality. And we're talking about our higher self, which is a vibration. And all we're doing as humans right now, when Michael was talking about the world going into darkness, let's make it make sense now. All it did was physical matter slowed down. That's why we look at it as being more dense. So physical matter, which is molecules put together to spin it, what? To make it seem like it's solid. They're spinning a lot faster now, so it makes it seem like everything is lighter. Is that making sense? But since we got the breatharian knowledge now, you can take part in it. You ain't got to wait for it to happen like that. You can speed up your own vibration through a lifestyle. Uh-oh. And feed directly off the light because that's your nature. Before, the atoms was just slowed down thick. It just seemed like you lost your memory. Everything going slow. But now your memory's coming back. This makes sense. That's why everywhere I go with this breatharian knowledge, it could be the worst skeptic. After they get done with me, ain't no more questions being asked. They looking at themselves saying, I got work to do. Right. What's to argue about? You're a light being. I just let them know he God. Why are you going to argue with that? His higher self. Now read, now they got a word called let go and let God. Y'all ever heard that? Let go and let God. Good saying. And in religion, but they do make sense. They talk about surrender. And I remember I was in the Himalayas. I had this group of sadhus, and we was doing the qigongs and stuff. And the one sadhu said, hey, Elitom, it'll really help when we're doing the qigongs that you tell them to surrender. And in my mind, I ain't going to tell him to surrender. Just relax and lay back. But he made sense. He was teaching me. He said, tell him to surrender. So we was doing our Qigong, and I said, okay, just surrender into the energies. Surrender into the forces. Kind of find out everybody liked it. It shifted the energy. More energy came in. Everybody surrendered. Surrendered to what? See, this is the key. We give all these names, but if you sit there trying to connect with your higher self, you must be trying to connect with a part of your consciousness that you didn't know that existed. Your expanded self that exists is trying to come in, but there's a war taking place. Now the war ain't got, I hate to use that word, is basically your old thoughts and ideas is warring against your expanded consciousness that wants to come in.
Mm-hmm. I feel it so strongly.
It wants to come in, but we keep getting in our own way. So that's what's starting a fight. A fight is taking place. The war of Armageddon is, now listen at this, what is word surrender. Well, you got two armies fighting against each other. And one army was just say straight up, surrender your arms, give up right now, and everything, let's end this right now, just surrender. Now for them to say that, that means that they already sized you up. They're saying, I'm more powerful than you. That's what they're saying. For them to even say that out their mouth. Don't even fight me back. Just surrender, put up the right flag, and you get to keep your life. If you continue, you about to lose your life. Does that make sense? So the higher forces or your higher self is basically telling everybody to surrender. If you don't, you're going to lose your life. And ain't people losing their life? They ain't surrender. It's a force that's more powerful than a lower vibration. That's why it has the power to transform us. And all we got to do is learn how to surrender. And that's what the Breatharian knowledge is teaching you. Oh, I can surrender. Everything will be all right. Yep, so you can keep your life. We got a thing called preventable diseases. That shows that there's a war taking place. High blood pressure, liver ailments, strokes, cancer. Those are casualties of war. Whoa. Now, they ain't lose their life yet. They still got a chance. But the higher forces say surrender right now. That's all it's saying. Uh-oh. So read spiritual surrender. Now listen at this. This is what they say spiritual surrender is.
Spiritual surrender means to feel, not just in your head, but in your whole body.
It means to feel, not just in your head, but in your whole body. Now, didn't we say that you got to develop a sixth sense? It's a feeling state. Not just in your head. Oh, I felt something. No. It got to be in your whole body. So those of you who done Qigong with me, what are you doing? You're surrendering, relaxing the body, so you can feel the vibration go through your whole body. That's how you develop a sixth sense. You do it through meditation. All you got to do is relax and surrender and let the forces come in, and they'll let you keep your life. That's basically what they're saying. All right, keep reading.
And allow that feeling to express itself through you.
And allow that feeling to express itself through you. Your higher self and your lower self just became one, and you got to keep your life. And why would it take your life? Did that mean that the higher forces is mean? No, it's protecting itself. It ain't going to give you all that power, let you run around the universe tearing up everything, eating every chicken you see.
Turkey.
Right, every turkey you see. There's a time limit. They'll say, all right, you ain't surrendered yet then. And they'll give you warnings. Okay, you got high blood pressure. Go see the doctor. Now there's an operation coming. Still ain't surrendered. Then they have to take you out of here. So the universe or nature knows how to protect itself. Don't think man is destroying nature. No, you're not. You ain't got nothing coming on nature. Nature got you in self-check. Or you'll be living. It ain't worried about you. Not at all. Oh, man, did I say that? Absolutely. You got to surrender. It's winning the war. There's billions of people that just got taken out in this war. That's the great fallout. That is World War III. The bomb already got dropped right here. Oh, man. And all you got to do is surrender. Now keep reading. To a filling state till it goes all the way through your body. That vibration.
When you surrender, you live. When you don't, you stiffen up.
Oh, man. Now, when you surrender, you live. I didn't make this up. But when you don't, you stiffen up. Don't they call a dead body a stiff?
Wow.
Or let's even go before the death even take place.
Wow.
A person who's sick right now, they got aches and pains in the body, is stiff.
Yeah.
They stiffen it up because they ain't surrendering.
Yeah.
That's what it's saying. Keep reading.
Spiritual surrender is surrendering to life as it is.
It's surrendering to life as it is. That's reality. Everybody else ain't in reality. When they sitting there eating at the smorgasbord in the restaurant, that's not reality. That's something else that's made up. They ain't surrendered. A breatharian is the one who surrendered. The feeling went through their body, and they're being sustained by nature. Whoa! Did we say that? Yeah, we did. Oh, man. Keep reading.
And now it says let go and let God.
And let go and let God. That's where they get that from. Surrendering to the higher forces. That's where the war is at. Right here. Armageddon. Don't want to let it go. Want to act like you're doing something different, better than the creation itself. So it has to take you out of here. And all it's saying is surrender. That's why I'll be telling people when I became a breatharian, there wasn't no technique. I just surrendered. Slowly. Put down your arms, Elitom. No. Elitom, come on, it's all right. I'm slowly taking out everything. Knife, grenade.
So about bullets.
Right. Bullets. Right.
Let go that last.
Right.
I've done that. I've carried something around, like somebody who stops smoking cigarettes. And you carry it with you just to know that you've got it.
Right.
And then you finally let go of it.
Then you finally let go. That's what we're saying. To surrender to the force. It don't want to hurt you. I love you. The thing about it, you're going to live. That's the thing about it. I got a buddy who was in, all right, he did some wrong in his life. He did 30 years in prison. But he loved life so good. Now listen at this. You might say, well, you did 30 years in prison, you lost your life. No, you didn't. He would have lost his life the night when the police came and got him and they told him to put up his weapon. They kept his life. If he would have fought back that night, they would have took his life. That's why he loved life now. This makes sense now, don't it? Uh-oh. Wow. That's the breatharian journey. It's a surrender. Nothing else. No technique, nothing until you go into a filling state. Ain't that how we started out saying? Until the vibration goes all the way through your body. And all you did was surrender. Over and over again. That's repenting.
How many times did you do that? Over and over and over until you felt that?
To this day. Right. It becomes part of your identity. I don't want nothing to do with that war. It's over with. I'm on that side. Absolutely not. Now, let's look at that. When we look at surrender, listen at that word. That's two words put into one. Render means to help. Do I get that wrote down?
Yes.
Yeah, read that.
Render. Provide or give a service or help. Cause to be or become. Make.
Or to make. It's to help you, to make you, and to cause you to what?
To be or become.
To be or become. That's a rendering. That's what the force is trying to do to you. It's trying to render. But you have to surrender. Now listen at this. Sir, S-U-R, is a word in itself. What do sir mean?
Surrender. cease resistance to an enemy or opponent, and submit to their authority.
You got to submit to his authority. To an enemy, which we made it an enemy, or an opponent. Right now, the human being, that's why they say you're separated from nature. Now, the higher forces ain't start the fight. The human being did, for whatever reason. So, there's a what? Surrendering taking place between two oppositions. Somebody got to give out. Or somebody about to lose their life or give their life. Now, keep reading. Where are we at now?
Well, in the bottom it says, let go and let God, to consciously surrender one's free will to the will of God.
To consciously give up your free will. Free will is an illusion. Now, why would I say that? Because you're a light being. A light being don't die. So if you're dying, that's supposed to be your what? Natural state. But what? Living's supposed to be your natural state. But if you're dying, that means you got into a conflict where something had to take you up out of here. To protect itself. That's all it did. Brought you back into the light and recycled you. Right. Because you wanted to have free will. I'm going to do it my way. I want to live this way. And it's saying you can't live that way and live forever. I can't let you do that. I cannot let you eat chickens for over 1,000 years. That's what it's saying. I'm just bringing that up to make my point. It's a lifestyle. And they're going to let you go get away with that. That's why they got this thing called, what? Reincarnation. You got to start over again and all this other stuff. But we want to stop that cycle. You got to surrender. And this is the lifetime to do it.
I feel this pull to share a little brief, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's everything you're talking about. I experienced this, and I'm sure we've all experienced this firsthand to a degree. But I almost died in the hospital because I felt this knowledge coming in that I was dealing with Lyme disease. I was very sick, and I was losing weight rapidly, and I wasn't walking anymore. And I was smoking a lot of weed, like way too much. I wasn't in a healthy point. And
Right.
I wound up in the hospital because it was a matter of life or death, and I had such a conscious experience talking with God that I could not go against it. And God was saying, you do need to make the choice now. And you need to tell me what your choice is. You're either going to say right now on the floor and you're going to surrender, that you surrender to death and the path that you're supposed to go in, or you don't. And once I said I surrendered, I woke up the next day and I was healed. But the day before, my heartbeat was so crazy. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it.
Right.
And the thing that's interesting with all of this is that during my stay in the hospital, I was told from the doctors I was supposed to do 5 days no eating. So I was fasting for 5 days straight.
Look at this.
And on the 5th day, once it got to the point where I actually felt that I was going to die if I did not surrender and let go.
Right.
And I actually knew. Something that was just so strong told me, this is it. And I said, okay, I didn't know what to do though. So that was when I found out to surrender.
To surrender,
And
right.
so once I verbally said it, that night, I went to heaven or something. I went up in this boat or this something.
To our higher self.
These angels, I saw a ton of angels gather around me and pick me up from my bed and lift me up and heal me in the air for hours, the whole entire night. And then once dawn came, they put me down. And I was free to go that day in a wheelchair. And it was because I surrendered to going vegan, and I said that when I get out of the hospital, I'm going to cut back on weed, I'm going to break up with my toxic boyfriend, and I'm going
Look at
to...
this.
He wasn't even toxic, he was very nice, but the lifestyle that I was going in, and I had to make the choice. And
Right.
if I would have chose to stay in my comfort zone, I would have died.
Right. Now listen at this. I'm glad you brought that story up because she asked me the key word, do you still surrender? And I'm saying, yeah. That's why the Breatharian journey ain't no all for nothing.
Right.
You're going to have enlightenment to enlightenment to enlightenment, surrendering from surrendering from surrendering. Is this making sense?
Well, I mean, I give back...
You might have to give up this for this season. The next season, you give up this. Breaking off. until you grow. That's what growth is dealing with. You try to let go of everything all at once, you don't know how to live. You'll cause more harm. So there's an enlightenment to an enlightenment, or a surrendering from a surrendering to a surrender. So you can keep transforming.
And I didn't go plant-based right when I got out. I gave myself this, okay, I know what I'm going for, and
Right.
I'm going to surrender to going this direction and letting go of things. So each week, I let go of a different animal product. And I started with red meat, and
I'm
then
glad she's saying this.
chicken, and then fish,
Right.
shellfish, and then eggs, and then dairy. And I was very picky on why I was doing each thing. Because
Right.
I started with the heaviest, most dense energy.
Right.
And I gradually went up to lighter energies. Because I didn't want to do that flop, because then I might just fall back into it.
I'm glad she's saying this.
Because the consistency of
People need to hear
gradual
that.
progression, the gradual progression,
Right.
it won't make you sling back.
Right. People need to hear that. You're exactly right. Thank you.
Because I don't want to interrupt you, but I also feel...
You are me. That's why she's saying it through me.
When I feel myself not wanting to interrupt you, I feel this strong resistance in me that makes my whole body shake.
Yeah.
It says, no, you need to speak up. But I've had certain people who, when I speak up, they will say, stop it. And I say, okay.
Oh, you're doing good. We'll let you know when you get out of control.
Yeah.
Right now, you're doing good.
Well, you get out of control.
That need to be said.
You get out of control when you talk out of a certain expectation or something, not a feeling. I'm feeling something that's telling me to talk, as if you put your hand on my shoulder.
Right.
Saying, hey.
People need to hear that, because I hear people so much on the path who will say, from now on, I'm never going to do this again
Every
and
time I've done that.
go into this, and it makes it harder.
Yeah.
And you was already used to being in this low vibrational cycle. And it's easier said than done. It's hard breaking those low energies. Let's act like it ain't. You got a relationship going on with it.
That's the thing.
You did it for years. You're a professional.
Yes.
You in bondage. It got you locked up. Let's not act like it don't.
That's exactly how I think of it, as a relationship.
This is what's happening. Ain't no He-Mans here. The surrender and light have to take over. And when we was talking about that definition you was reading, that feeling state, it started vibrating through the organism. That wasn't no one-night thing. It's working on you on each little channel, opening up stuff so you can see. That's what's happening. At its pace. It already know what's wrong with us and what need to be healed. That's why when you're doing these qigong standing like a tree, I'm just telling you to relax or surrender, because the light knows what direction it should go in you. You don't know. You ain't got to put your mind into it. All right, just cleanse me. It see the whole picture. That's what's happening. It's a higher, powerful force. It's a bigger army. It's skilled. You're going to lose that battle. I seen a woman one time, good in yoga. All right, so you can put your legs up over your head and stuff. I'm going to show people how to live on prana. And about the third day, she was filming it. And then pretty soon the films ain't come up no more in videos. Right. She didn't understand. She thought she was just going to get in there and come into the light any old way she thought she was. Absolutely not. You're dealing with a higher force. Nobody gets away. Oh man, this is something, ain't it? So now, let's go into that word sir, S-U-R.
So now we're going to survive.
Well, I got S-U-R wrote down because we want to know what surrender means. Rendering is to help or to make you become something.
Yes, sir.
But when you surrender, S-U-R is a word, they use it for what? Surrender, survive, and it might be on the next page.
Yeah, I see survive on the next page.
Or behind it. Or behind that page, I mean, when you flip the pages. Or the other one.
Let's see. Sir. Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
Sir.
Now listen at this.
Over, above, in addition.
This is the good one. Sir, S-U-R, means over or above or in addition to. And what type of words to go to? I got those words wrote down.
Surcharge.
Surcharge. I know what you know what that means. That means that they, charged you something. But when they say you got a surcharge, I'm going to give you above. In addition to, over.
Surname.
Surname. An addition to.
Surrender.
Now surrender, what is that? That's additional help. Right.
I love words.
Words is powerful.
They are.
Something that's optional. So on one level, they say, can anybody be a breatharian? Only if you get additional help. Now you ain't going to do it on your own. Nobody can help you do that. You need additional help by or add-on from the higher forces. That's who makes you into a breatharian. You got to surrender. Nobody can do it. A person can help you. They can help you get clothes. They can feed you. They can give you a couple dollars. That's what a human can do. But additional help comes from the higher forces. They don't deal with no stuff like that. They're going straight up in your heart. Straight up in your mind. Straight up in your conscience. They don't care about no money and no houses. Don't even come at me with no spiritual stuff like that. That's child's play. We talk about surrendering to something else. I ain't surrendering to no millionaire. I just got finished telling one off. There wasn't nothing he could give me. I'm in the light. What I need him for? It don't even make sense, do it? But that's what we fell to. We're talking to something that ain't human. It ain't got no physical body like that. It goes through physical matter. Oh, man. An addition to. So a breatharian, they are on a path where they are dealing with additional forces, add-ons, something that's above or beyond physical matter. This is the lower vibration. Everything is. Everything you see, touch, smell is a lower vibration compared to the higher forces. That's why they say you must transcend physical matter in order to get to your higher self. It's a consciousness. Oh, man. That's who you really are. You ain't this. This is an experience. You can get houses all day long. I can buy a house if I want to. That ain't nothing new. A cardboard box. Right. And then go get it taken away and go get another one. Go file bankruptcy. System of gain. What was that thing you were about to say? Oh, I thought you were about to say something. I'm up here choking. Serious, we do it all day long. Now, an additional add-on. Oh man, this is good, ain't it? But we got to wrap our heads around these words. Now let's go back into that above or beyond, dealing with that sir word. Now there's another word that means the same thing. And they say we live in a UV spectrum. You ever heard that? The ultraviolet spectrum. We live in it. This is what we live in right now. Ultraviolet. Violet is the highest frequency vibration you can see with your eyes. That's what they're saying. And ultra means above or beyond. That means that there's other forces in this room you cannot see with your eyes that's affecting us. That's what's going to nourish you.
Some people say they can see them.
Some can see them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can you?
To a degree. You can train yourself to see them. We call them auras, electromagnetic energy. Yeah, to a degree you can. You're just that powerful. It is you. And everywhere your thought goes, that's where the energy goes. That's why you create your reality. This is what we're talking about.
I also saw it when I got out of the hospital that day when we got home. The auras.
So that's why the spiritual journey is what? Is an expansion of consciousness. The breatharian journey is an expansion of consciousness. That's why I always tell people I'm a genius. That's something, ain't it? You are. Why have stuff with it? You're a genius. They're already telling you what? Intestines is your second brain. If it ain't being used for food, it's thinking now. It can think. It's helping you think. Half of the stuff people thinking about is something in their stomach, making them think that way. I don't know what to do with this problem. Blah, blah, blah. That's the food talking. You get rid of the food, you can think more clearly. That's what it's saying. And then they say your heart is a chakra or is a brain. Right. So that's the highest field that comes out from the body. That means your thinking is a lot more expanded. That's the expansion of consciousness. Now listen at that. If that's the expansion of consciousness, what do you need to study for? Oh, did I say that? You can read all the books in the world. Those written by people. You're a genius. You can figure stuff out. You can find the answer or have somebody bring it to you. Serious. We do it all the time. Don't we?
Yes.
You be trying to figure something out. Here comes somebody telling you that what you wanted to know.
Right.
You brought them to you.
Manifestation instantly.
Instantly. And then when you do read a book, you go right to that page. Instant.
Right, instantly.
You're a genius. Oh man, that's your natural state. I just seen a video where somebody was talking out on the TED Talk. They said humans are born geniuses, but the system dumb them down. Yeah, you're a genius. That's the Akashic Records. They got us thinking some library up there on the cloud somewhere. No, it's all right here.
I like that. There's a quote by Albert Einstein that said, "Everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will grow up all of its life thinking it's stupid."
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Man.
That's great.
I love that one.
That's amazing.
Right.
It is.
That's really good.
Oh
You
man,
just said that.
That's how I feel
right.
when I work a normal job.
That's what's happening.
We'll quit it.
I know. I always do.
Oh,
I'm
man.
able to keep them 'cause then
That's it.
I'm not doing well.
And we're light beings. By nature, every right. That's all you work with is frequencies and vibrations. Tell me something you don't work with a frequency or vibration. Everything you do. That's your nature. That's easy. You're good at it. But we've been given another identity. That's what's happening. False identity. Try to be something else. You ain't no lion. Ripping apart elks and cows and... Right.
Apex predators. No,
Yeah, you're no apex predator.
Right.
Absolutely not. That's why they sleep all day long and need to hibernate and stuff. They tired.
They have a show that talks all about
Right.
being really different from
Cats sleep all day long. They tired. Ate all those mice the night before. Right. You light beings. You don't even need to sleep. Man. And I like how you said, just think of the future of how we're going to keep growing. We're going to be somewhere else. Light beings, by your nature. You see light, hear light, smell light, all that good stuff. That's all you're doing is coming back into yourself. Man. An addition to. So that's why, now listen at that. If that sir word is above or beyond or in addition to, that means that theory right now, how should we say? You being a human being and you what? You don't have to bring on that addition. You understand? You can have any experience you want because you're a creator, you're a God. You ain't got to force people to saying that this is the road they got to go. It's an additional to. You know how people say, now let me make it make sense. It don't take all of that. Sometimes they don't say that. But for some people, yeah, it do take all that. Did I say that right? Like one day, let me make it make sense. I was up on my cave and some woman came to visit me and she wanted to do the Qigong, so I'm doing the Qigong. This is what I do every morning. But she's sitting there and I knew there was going to be a problem. Right, I'm sitting there doing my Qigongs and she's sitting there now, so I said, here we go. Here come the fight. So, you know, Elitom, I really don't think it takes all of that. La. So, but I said to her, what's wrong with relaxing? That's all we're doing is relaxing, allowing the forces to come in. I was surrendering. I was working on myself, surrender. She ain't want to surrender. That's all that was. Wow. And she left. And I was glad. Oh, man. And she had a hard time after that. Don't want to surrender. My back hurt. My leg hurt. I don't know what's wrong. Well, because you fighting against the forces. That's all that took place. So, yeah, it do take all of that. That's my point on where I was going to. Yeah, in the beginning stages until it becomes second nature.
What is it that one does unconsciously to be fighting against these forces?
Unconsciously?
Yeah, 'cause I'm sure they're not conscious of it.
Oh, well, this is what I'm glad he brought this up. See, you're fighting against the forces through ignorance, you're saying. But there's something in us, too, that works with everybody to kind of wake you up to say you at least need to be doing this. You understand? And they're going to bring you into the fullness of the picture. I have not met nobody who was doing bad or something was with their body, but they didn't say their own testimony out of their mouth on what they need to be doing. Because the light that's in you always look to progress itself, change itself. That's what it does. See, the physical body was born from here, so it lives for the moment. It don't care about changing itself. But the light that's in us always want to progress.
So would you say when a being is in doubt, from that force of which you speak, that they only increase their suffering and the agony which they feel?
Say again?
When a being is in doubt with that force of which you speak of, and they go against it, all they're creating is a perpetual motion of more agony and suffering.
Right. It is letting you know that it's taking place. See, that's why this is your own personal journey in a way. How should I say it? Because there's many people, gurus in other words, who's in some type of diet change. And even though the diet change probably had good benefits when they first got into it, the body is letting you know that there's other problems taking place. That's your body you're working with. It's letting you know. But due to whatever, they stay in it. Still convincing the people that this is it. This is where we at right now. Instead of saying, okay, this ain't working, y'all. Maybe I should move on. You understand?
I do indeed.
So even when I made my changes, when I went from eating meat to a vegan, 100% feeling good. But there's something else happened. My body still ain't where it's supposed to be. It's saying we got to go somewhere else now. Right. Then you start going more live or raw foods, more organic. You're feeling 100% better. But the body's saying, this is good, but we got somewhere else to go. So that's why I don't even argue with these other people that's in these diet changes. I already know your body's talking to you. And sure enough, they say, yeah, there is something I'm still working on. That's your body talking to you. The fight ain't with me.
So as we're making those changes, if we resist those changes, that's where we get into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So if we resist, the more we resist them, then we can get to the place where the universe, whatever you want to call it, is just going to kick us out, and that's when we die.
Right.
So it's constantly telling us to change or evolve, whatever term you want to use to facilitate that you're moving from position A to position B, which is a higher state of knowledge or wisdom or enlightenment.
Right.
Right. And as long as we are listening and paying attention to that, it's a fluid motion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? When we move out of that place where it's no longer a fluid motion, that's when we end up in the hospital. We get aches and pains.
Right.
Because we're being presented with this information, we're ignoring it, and then that's where we get into that conflict, that resistance, and
absolutely. This is something, ain't it? Now, right now, I did get a good report. A lot of close family members losing weight now and stuff. I got a good report. Now, they made their own choice, their own decision to say there need to be changes made. Now, they hear my message. Now, did I influence them? I ain't saying nothing. Do they need to call me and say thank you? No, because everybody want to what? Own their own development. You did. Absolutely. You made yourself sick, you made yourself well. Right. That's how much power we got. See, that's powerful when you can make yourself sick. We're so powerful you can kill yourself.
Oh my God.
So would you say when a being attains knowledge of this aspect of consciousness, that one should start to apply this knowledge immediately and not hesitate?
Right. See, the universe is user-friendly. It knows where you're at. Don't hesitate. It told you. You know it. You're clear. You understand. Go into that direction. You know what I mean?
I do.
The universe is user-friendly. It'll work with you. I mean, there was a time I thought I was going to be stuck with the avocados. They were surrounding me. I can't get out of this. It's over with. I can't get over this. I mean, those avocado wrappers or the skins, they was all around me. I was like, I'm done.
Hello, avocados.
I had the white flag. Someone got to come get me. But lo and behold, the light pretty soon, got you through that victory. And then the great cosmic joke was, it wasn't long before I was actually living on an island where one of their number one produce was what? Avocados. All over the place. Free. I'm like, man, this is a great cosmic joke, ain't it? But before, all was lost. Oh, man. But that's how it is. The light is showing you its power again. It brings you into, it even take things from you. It ain't no force event.
It's always about gradual progression as well, as you said before.
Mm-hmm.
If one tries to leap across the cliff, he's not prepared to leap across, he's just going to fall down into the depths.
Exactly. And see, and that's why right now we got this year starting out. Here we are in 2020, okay? We're starting out. And what we're trying to do is keep everybody motivated. You understand? Everybody got their resolutions out there and all this stuff. We know how it is. But if you can hang in there till next year about this time and look back, if you can just stay consistent on something, you'll see how far you've grown just by being consistent with little changes compared to just letting go altogether. See, that's why we help each other. You don't know who you helping by people watching you. They watching you.
Yeah.
And when you making your changes, see, the best teacher is by example. They say, man, they made those changes. I remember they used to be, man. And they see you transforming. That's it. So you're helping a whole lot of people stick with what they're sticking with. You understand? To inspire them. Oh, man, this is a powerful, ain't it? But that's what we do to each other. We pick each other up. But when you give up and got to start all over again, which that can happen too. You understand?
It has.
And it has. But just pick yourself back up and keep going because you're a light being. You ain't get taken out yet. You ain't lose the full war yet. Right. You still here.
It was really interesting when I got out of the hospital a couple weeks after that. I had started adding, bone. I started on only bone broth when I got home.
Right.
I thought that was safe, and I wasn't vegan at the time. I
Mm-hmm.
was just starting that way.
Right.
So I thought I won't eat any more meat. I'll just let go, I did that to heal my gut because I was in the hospital because my stomach, I had an abruption, a blockage.
Mm-hmm. I do it all the time. Our brain was blocked up. So we say our gut, your brain was blocked up.
Yeah, it totally.
That's true, ain't it?
And something told me, this higher power that I've talked with, myself,
Yeah.
told me you should just not eat. It's the food that's making you feel worse because after I started to add food in,
Mm-hmm.
I instantly started to feel like, well, I just kept telling myself, I'm healed. I'm healed because I had Lyme disease, and I said, I don't believe that anymore. I
Right.
don't believe in that paradigm. I'm healed. That wasn't enough for it. Something came back up after a couple weeks saying that it's the food, and I said, what are you talking about? I'm going vegan. I swear. I'm still doing it. I'm in the process. And then a month goes by, I'm like, I'm vegan, I'm feeling better. And then at 2 months, I'm getting sad and I'm getting depressed again because I'm saying, God, I'm doing what you told me to do and I'm getting sick again. And I don't understand. I was meditating, I was doing yoga, and
Right.
I felt better. I totally did. But it was still like I had to keep going. It wasn't like I was out of suffering.
There was something
I
else
was
there.
just not dying now.
Till we get into our
Now
forms.
I was still given a chance.
Right.
But I'm still in pain.
Right.
Like extreme. Because at the moment of that, which was a few years ago, I was being told to go breatharian then, but I didn't believe that such a thing could be real.
Right.
And that's why for the last few years, I've been in such chronic pain. It's not about ending my life because I'm suffering that much that I can't do much sometimes.
Right.
That's because I'm eating. When I don't eat, I feel fine. And
Now that's something, ain't it? When
It
you
is.
don't eat, you feel fine.
well, and when I wasn't eating,
Ding.
something was able to tell me not to eat.
Right.
Right, ding. And that's why in the medical profession they say what? The best diet is a starvation diet. Listen to how they put that. It is not even a diet. Wow. Now, the key is for us to figure out, this is what the breatharian knowledge is coming in at. How can I maintain that state? And we just read it with spiritual surrender. Read that one more time so it can soak in. It's a feeling state.
Spiritual surrender means to feel, not just in your head, but in your whole body.
Your whole body. Feel the vibration in your feet, your hands, whole body. Oh, go ahead.
And allow that feeling to express itself through you. When you
Oh, allow that feeling to express itself through you.
when you surrender, you live. When you don't, you stiffen up.
Wow. It can't get no better than that. So that's why we say meditation is medication. Don't that sound like medication? It just said you'll live. That's what it said. Just to surrender to your energy. You will live. It ain't say nothing about take bare aspirin. It didn't. Go see Dr. Rogers. It ain't say that. It just says surrender to some energy. And it will go all the way through you and become part of you. And that's why we say what? Meditation is the foundation of living on prana. And it got nothing to do with putting tape on your mouth, starving yourself. That's it. The spiritual surrender.
You're still eating. You're eating differently.
Right. You're feeding off a more subtle force.
That's nice.
A subtle force. See, like we said, physical matter. If we were to put food right here, no matter what it is, it's just out of denser force. It's energy. Einstein said everything is energy, remember? It's just denser. You could go to a higher vibration than that. That's holding you down. That's all it's doing is dumbing you down. You don't see Superman stopping at McDonald's when he's flying in a movie. He probably won't even be able to fly. He'll be catching a bus. I gotta go save the cat up at the tree.
Give me a ladder.
Right. It's all about vibration again. So the Breatharian lifestyle is a high vibrational lifestyle.
I like how you said it's subtle, though, because that really resonates. It's like
Right.
walking into a really loud room, and then you can hear that people are whispering and reading a book over there.
Yep.
But if you don't take the inquiry to walk over a little bit,
Mhm.
you're not going to be able to hear it, hear the specificness. You're not going to hear what it's saying clearly. You'll
Right.
hear some of it, but it's going to be in the distance, and then you keep walking closer and closer.
The subtle forces. That's why in the scriptures again in Genesis, it talked about the what? Serpent being the most subtle beast in the field. That's the word it used. The most subtle beast in the field. Now the serpent don't mean evil. It just means power.
Yeah.
See, it's us who give it good or bad. But it's saying it's a subtle force that's very, very powerful that all of us have access to. That's all it's talking about. So the Breatharian knowledge is you're taking that serpent force, whatever we want to call it, and learn how to redirect it and get the power out of it. What makes it subtle is that a person just can't see it with their five senses. It's a feeling state that comes through surrendering. That's it. You can't fight nothing you can't see.
It's also like if you are presented with the same situation,
Mhm.
if you answer it with your mind, the mind will make it hard. And if you answer it with your heart, it'll be a completely different answer you get.
Right.
It's totally easy.
Listen to how she said
Like,
this.
let me go to the store, or let me go, I want to go see my friend, you know. Like, for example, us. He lives an hour away. And my mind's going to say, man, blah, 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 all these hard things. And then my heart says, oh, that's great. Ah, yeah. there's
Whole
no-
different ball game.
It's totally different.
Totally different. And you got it what? And in the beginning stages, a person has to train themselves to get out of this head and go to that other one. That makes things so easy.
How does one train himself to do such a thing?
First of all, don't pay attention to the negativity that's in us. That's that other voice that always want to talk negative. In other words, you said he live an hour away. So he ain't going to be home when you get over there. Talking all this other stuff. Right.
Distracting you.
So there is a thing called mental fasting. We do have to work on that negative voice. Everybody has it. Some is use it more than others. But you have to work at it. Putting it in its place. Absolutely. Ignoring it.
Is that what mental fasting is?
Mental fasting. In other words, you're just watching a thought instead of giving it power. Instead of gripping into it. Happens all the time. Then you feed into it and this argument erupts. It's taking you to another thought and you don't know nothing. Right, that voice don't know nothing. It's an illusion, but it's in us. You give it more power, the more you keep catering to it. Then it got control of you, but you got to put it back into its place. That's why they show us that symbology of the serpent and that man playing the horn. Doo, 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 doo. Right, he's mastered the serpent. And they always show us these symbologies when Moses, when he went back to what? Egypt to fight the sorcerers who had the staffs and they turned into serpents and he had his. That's what they're talking about, the serpent energy that's in you that has power. Everybody here got power. Great power. But it's how you use it. You either let the power what? Come and get you to destroy you. That's why people destroy their own lives. Or you can use it to better your life, heighten your life. It'll take you to the right direction.
So when you're speaking of taming the serpent, it is also not just taming the spiritual essence. The essence what I'm speaking of is just surrendering. And through that surrendering, taming the beast, which would be the body and the mind.
Absolutely. There it is. I like these words. The body and the mind come in one. That's what wholeness means. See, right now, the average person, the body's going this direction, the mind's going this direction. They're not working as a team. They must come together because they are together by their true nature. See, I'm looking at everybody's mind. But the average person, no, this ain't got nothing to do with my consciousness. Yeah, it do. I'm a nice person. Your body ain't saying you nice. Right, that's what it's saying. We're looking right through it. I'm a nice person. Your life ain't showing that. That's what it's saying. Everything should be in harmony. Whoa. That's why I told you about that one woman. What? Nice house. Nice relationship. Nice livelihood. Nice neighborhood. Nice neighbors. Nice cat. How did that happen? That didn't happen overnight. She worked at it. She understood what high vibration is supposed to be. Whoa. Whoa.
So I have another question. So when one becomes bewildered by these senses, material modes of nature, what is one to do when they seem so overwhelming that they have no control, and in that they just feel as if they are the victim being abused?
Ah, well, that's a lot of people's trapped in that one.
Yeah.
Well, you got to start from plan B. Well, plan A. Plan A is basically saying, see, first of all, you use the word overwhelmed. Now, the creative forces is not going to put you in a circumstance you can't handle. Now, first of all, you got to understand that your situation that you in now, anybody, you're in a situation you can handle. That's what you created. So it ain't like it's overwhelmed you. You can handle it. That's where you're at. So you're never going to be in a situation you cannot handle. Is that making sense? So once you get that together, then you can start mastering the situation you're in to transform it and go into another one. That wouldn't even make sense for you to be in something you can't handle. You won't create that for yourself. You only can create with what you know. See, the mind knows what it knows. It knows everything, but it knows what it knows.
And that's when you need to surrender.
That's when you start surrendering. And this consciousness is so powerful, it will get you out of any situation. Mm-hmm. It will. Mm-hmm. You sit back and surrender and wait till that answer to come. Oh, this is how you do it. This is how we get out of it. Oh, that's why you're a genius. Wow. That's why there's that scripture that says, the word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. In other words, that wisdom will always lead you into a light path. That's what it does. It guides you. It's a guiding light.
What is wisdom?
The application of correct knowledge.
That's what I would say.
In a nutshell,
That's it.
The application.
the application of correct knowledge.
You have to use
What
it.
is application?
Yeah.
You have to use
To
it.
use it.
It's applied.
To apply it.
It goes from a philosophy to an action word.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I had a buddy one time, and I know y'all met them, they know a whole lot of knowledge. They did a lot of reading. Now, they don't practice nothing, but they know it. Blah, 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 blah. And they're like, why don't you do it?
So the key is to getting the correct knowledge, and then once you have that correct knowledge,
The correct
people
one.
talk about knowledge.
Right. And see, now, how do you know if it's correct or not? That's why we're
You
scientists.
feel it with the sixth sense, too.
Here we go again. Now, we feel with the sixth sense, or that's why we're scientists. In other words, when a baby sit up there and burp his head, or a little kid, it ain't going to touch that no more. It already learned. Other than that, what they say, if you keep doing it and it's burning you, that's insanity.
Yeah, you learn through experience.
You know what it's saying. I deal with people all the time, but there was some guy at this one country I was at. And this situation keep happening, but I kind of, my sixth sense picked it up. But you ain't done ready to let that go, though, are you? Well, no. Ain't no use of us talking.
Right.
You created that, and that's what you want to keep experiencing. You ain't ready to let that go. You're just talking.
Or the higher self has created a scenario for him to gain knowledge and get out of that place, and he's just ignoring it.
Just ignoring it. Could have been get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We create our own
That's how I
situations.
feel, but at the same time, I feel like the reason why I'm not dead is because I'm in the situation I can handle right now.
You in one you can handle.
And I wouldn't be able to handle, doing that until I know for sure.
Right.
Because I'm here with somebody who's saying, and I can tell that you look really well.
Right.
You don't look like you're malnourished.
Right.
And-
Falling out all over the place. There we go.
Well, your face isn't even, you don't look like
Right. All healthy,
You don't look
bright-eyed,
like or anything.
feeling good. This is where we at. We just did a video. We was up in San Francisco. But this is what we had to say. Whether a person believe it or not, we doing these videos all day. We running all around. All right? One thing for sure, we having fun. Thing. Number two, the person that was hanging with me ain't even a breatharian, but I know they ain't eat that day. They hanging with me. That was the energy they was under. They was all over the place. Right. That's it. That's the breatharian experience. So you start out in increments. We ain't saying you got to go all day long. But the more you stay in the game and see what it feels like, oh man, it's a whole nother piece. You want to stay on that side.
Well, it's just like the other energy. You want to stay on that side.
Now listen at this.
It's like an addiction. You get addicted to the different energy.
And we're going to do this one day. I had a breatharian retreat at the Canary Islands. All right, so we're doing our Qigongs every day, doing the teaching classes. About the third day, everybody got hyped up. We up on this mountain. We want to go somewhere. So we said, let's go to the beach. Now, the beach is like over 5 miles, walking from the mountain down to the beach. All right? Now, they ain't eat or drink in 3 days. But they ain't even thinking about it. They hyped up because they want to go to the beach. But this is what I'm saying as we get there. I said, y'all just broke medical science. You just went 3 days without eating or drinking. You're all hyped up, running your mouth. You're not tired. They had to look at this. That's the breatharian experience. Now, this is the next thing they did. We at the beach right now. They all in their young 20s. Go get something to drink. Nobody got no water. So you remember you asked me, did you drink water? Now, you would think in the hot sun, walking 5 miles, they eat or drink in 3 days, they would have got some water. No, they got hot chocolate. They got cappuccinos.
Yeah.
They got Pepsis. Right. They got what their heart desired. Water's born.
Yeah.
I said, that's the breatharian experience. You just picked up the tool. They just broke the barrier. That was it. And y'all in y'all young 20s, this will last with you for the rest of your life. You know you could go without eating and drinking. Wow. Have fun. Have fun, Obi-Wan Kenobi. It was on. And then you just walk 5 miles. There's people that eat every day now and whatever. Drink water, can't do no 5 miles. That was it. You under another type of force. They submitted. They surrendered. They understood. Whether you understood it or not. Everybody was rolling. And then they was motivated because they were doing something they really love to do. Not only they having this experience on the mountain, seeing all this beauty, they ain't even think about food. Then they thinking about the beach. As soon as they get out there and do whatever, they out there swimming. They ain't sitting up there, I need something to eat. They ain't even think about it.
It's when you get stagnant that you think about other things.
Right. What they say, the idle mind is the devil's workshop. You ain't doing nothing.
Well, yeah, when you're in resistance, you feel like you're lacking things.
Right.
You are. You're lacking your purpose of being here, which is not your free will. It's the will that got you here.
And there's so much to do. That's why I say make your day happy.
Yeah.
So much to do. Even if you ain't doing nothing. Right.
I don't know who said that, but it's somebody like
Even if you ain't doing nothing, you doing it. That's what it's about. You learn to appreciate life. Learn to appreciate yourself. That's what nourishes you. It all goes hand in hand. And then you get used to being in this other state. Oh, man. You don't want to go in and out after a while. You know, I want to stay here for a while. And then the body gets so strong. Now, this is where it gets good. Now, you're warm inside. We're like 98.6 degrees inside. Now, that's hot, ain't it? Can you picture it being 98 degrees outside right now?
Great.
Right.
Please.
Detoxing our show.
So once you get in that cycle, we know all of that heat coming up and all of this other stuff. If something do go into your body will burn it up so fast, boom. It's like throwing a piece of wood on a big blazing fire. That's what happens. It then don't go through the body the same no more.
Makes so much sense.
Oh man, that's what it's about. You have what? Activated the furnace. It's up and running. They ain't all clogged up, and that's why they say you and tell you in Chinese medicine, where they tell you the 5 elements and how all of them supposed to be balanced out. Earth will put out the fire. You know, you put too much earth on the fire and all of that. So what they're saying is what? Too much of that dense physical food clogs up the fire that's in you, and that's what brings forth sickness. So everything has to be balanced out in nature so it can what? Be harmonized. That's all you're doing is harmonizing the body.
So when a being's going through their gradual progression into higher and higher states of vibrational frequency,
Mm-hmm.
and they find themselves in a state, to say, of, thinking of a word, just give me a second. Dis-ease.
Dis-ease, right.
Yeah, they're not feeling right, you know? And maybe they're just like a little foggy in the mind. And they say they're a couple days deep, and they're just beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be okay in that sense for them to go, for instance, break their fast with whatever they're feeling is necessary, for them to get back into the path, knowing that in that moment in their time, their body is not fully unclogged?
Oh, absolutely. See, you want to make this, I know what he's saying.
Or is that a passing thing that you should just, because sometimes for me I just can meditate and then it gets rid of that and I can keep going.
See, everybody's going to be different.
I guess you'll notice if it's not
Right.
going to go away.
So that's why I usually tell people, what do I need to do when depending on what group I'm talking about. Fast 1 time a week. Put that in your schedule. You know, master one day before you can do more and blah, 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 blah. Keep that like a religion, like you're going to church. Oh, I got to talk about that. See, yeah, let's talk about religion. See, sometimes we like, in this age, we have put the religious idea down, but you can't. Because a religious idea or a person who thinks religiously, you do got to think religiously being on the breatharian path. There's a what? A discipline that goes behind it. A temperance.
You should read the definition of religious.
So you're using the secular definition of religion.
Right.
The spiritual definition.
Meaning, see, now I got to talk about
To
myself.
continue to do something.
Right.
Discipline.
Like what I used to talk about myself. See, I was a minister at the church one time, and what got me to that point was the zeal. See, if I didn't show up to Bible study, you might as well call the ambulance.
There's something wrong.
Right, something wrong. He ain't here out of all people. So, so if you're going to be on the breatharian path, you got to live it, be in it to become one with the energy of it. So when we say fast once a week, and I tell people that, now, before I even learned about breatharianism, I was with a religious group, the Hebrews. I fasted once a week because that's what I do. You ain't had to take my hand. Somebody had to tell me to do it. That's what needed to be done. So that's a religious mindset I got. So when it came to breatharianism and it came to make me out a plan, I'm religious about it. This is the temple.
So with the consistency of what you're speaking of, it shouldn't be just towards the fasting aspect of it, but the energy exercises.
Absolutely.
Qigong meditation, because you want to constantly keep retraining your mind and reprogramming the body to resonate to such frequencies.
By George, he got it. Give him a round of applause. It's a holistic lifestyle. More than just the fasting. It's the meditations. It's the whole lifestyle. And even when we're dealing with people, we don't think about it. How can I deal with them this day, even though they get on my nerves? Right. How can I get the best nutrition out of this? Right. That's how you're thinking. You're working on yourself constantly. That's what you're doing. Because everything is the light. Wow. That's it. That's what's going to nourish you.
Well, that's what you're eating.
This is big work. Yeah.
Food.
This is why this is called the great work.
It's like
To transform yourself. Your job to be on the planet is to transform yourself.
There's your purpose.
That's your purpose. I'm trying to find my purpose. To transform yourself. Not to die. Become one with the light. Resurrect. Man, that's it. Everything else is child's play. Like some man pulled up at my community center. I finally got my life dream. Okay, he had this Mercedes, but he got out with a cane. Young man, too. Got diabetes. I said, that's your life dream? I couldn't believe it.
oh,
But that's where we at.
yeah.
You need a bigger dream than that. It's you. That's the big dream. There ain't no vehicle out there worth more than you. I don't care what they say those Tesla cars is. They still need fueled up. You wireless right now. You fueling up right now. I don't need a Tesla car to walk up north. Me to go up north. I just walked up there. They had to get no gas. Didn't even have to plug up. You the vehicle.
You're the plug.
You the plug. They ain't got nothing on you. They imitating.
Is it being confining himself to whatever reality he identifies with? And in this process of understanding this as well, one should begin to understand his identity and focus it towards higher vibrational wavelengths.
Exactly. Now read the word surreal. Now we got that word reality, and the root word is real, right? What's real? Something that's in existence. This is the way it is. Now let's look at surreal. Sur is above or beyond, or an addition to. So a breatharianism, when my relative was sitting there telling me about reality, they did put me in my place. This is reality. You need to do this, this, this. But what they had to understand was, I'm not in your reality. I'm not even in reality. We're in a surreal reality. Now listen what surreal is.
Surreal. Having the qualities of surrealism. Bizarre.
Bizarre. Oh, go ahead.
A surreal mix of fact and fantasy.
It's a mix of fact and fantasy. Now that might sound like we're crazy, don't it? Now one of the yoga practices is called what? Dream yoga. Here we go.
Yoga Nidra.
Yoga Nidra. Dream yoga. Then they're getting there saying you're living in a dream. Then you keep hearing that this isn't real. We hear these things, and even scientists is trying to jump on that bandwagon now. Consciousness is the final frontier. You can change, your belief system means a lot on your reality. That means you're taking certain facts and you're mixing it with what? What they say? Fantasy. That's your imagination. That's what they say in the scriptures. What? God made man in his likeness and image. Image is the root word of imagination. This is your imagination you living in. You got to start exercising the right side of your brain. You do. It's real. I was just walking up north and I forgot my scarf at this house because it was kind of cold out. I manifested one right on the park bench and I knew I did it. It was the same color and everything. That's my imagination.
Right. 100%.
Mix facts with fantasy. You're living in a fantasy. I don't know what a mineral or vitamin is. I don't care. I'm a fantasy freak. I'm living in a dream world. You're dreaming this reality. Wow. Even when I went up north, I knew I was going to meet all types of friends, and I did. I already thought them up. I was living in a dream. All over Mount Shasta, living in a nice place, looking at the mountain. I was in a dream world. How did I get there? I dreamt it.
So you then didn't need the scarf.
Didn't even need the scarf. You're right, I left it there. I did. I knew I manifested and left it there. You're right. Wow. Oh man, this is good, ain't it? You're living in a dream world. Oh man, that's why your thoughts are so important. It's a vehicle. The first thing, like you said, you want to get rid of that negative thinking inside of you. You're manifesting that. I had a friend one time that talked that's so negative. Oh man, this is mind-boggling. I came to their house one day and they had a cast on their foot. What happened? When I was coming out of church, my heel hit this crack, and I, did my ankle. But right there, I knew enough was enough. Because that church they went to was a big congregation. And you mean to tell me out of all those people who went out the same door, your shoe found the crack. Found the crack. Nobody else's shoe did. They told so negative it didn't even shock me. I said, I'm out of here. Enough was enough. You get tired of being around them. They complain so much you tired. I said, they're draining me. Oh man, it was real. But they created that reality and loved it. And it was up to me to say, do I want to be part of that? I don't want to. It ain't got nothing to do with me hating you or nothing like that. I have to separate myself because I want to create something else that's higher vibrational. Wow. That's something, ain't it? That was surreal. Now,
Surreal experience.
so that's what we mean. You got reality, but if we put "sir" on the front of it, you are building an additional reality that most people ain't used to because you're dealing with the subtle forces that the average person cannot see. You're being fed from your heart chakra by the UV spectrum, above and beyond what you can see. Of course, they don't understand that. I don't care if you went to nutritional school, you don't even know what nutrition means. Right. It makes sense.
I haven't been able to go to one of those, but I'm so into, conscious expansion and health.
Right.
That's not what it's about.
That's not what it's about.
It's not school.
Have a healthy mind.
Your school is
Be a good person. That's how you stay healthy. Oh, man. Did we say that? Yep. You want all good things. That's why I said what God was creating, what? Everything was good. That's you. This is good. That's good. That's good. That's how you start creating. And on the seventh day, you rested. You go on your Sabbath. That means you stop transgression. You stop bringing stress into your life. You can rest. Oh, man. Did I say that? Yep. But you can be nourished. All self-sustaining. Whole life becomes a Sabbath. Now what's next?
Surreal experience.
Surreal. So the Breatharian experience is a surreal experience. It's an additional add-on above and beyond physical reality. You're living in a fantasy. All right, go ahead.
A situation or experience that is surreal is very strange and difficult to understand, like something from a dream.
Like something from a dream. Now, lucid dreaming is when you can control your dreams. Don't you like when you can control your dreams? I like those ones that just take you where you want to go. You can fly when you want to and all this other good stuff. So you're living in a dream. All right, keep reading. It's an experience. Now, surreal is also used, creative artists use it. In literature and paintings. And what they're saying is they want to get the experience of their subconscious body to get involved with their artwork, not just the intellect. That's higher level art. Here we go now.
Salvador Dali.
Here we go.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead.
Not negative or positive. Surreal has the definition that you give, but it typically doesn't describe a person or object.
It ain't describing a person or an object. It's not good or bad, but it has the definition that you give it. So that's why we said the serpent energy, it ain't good or bad, it's just the energy. It's us who give it all those other labels. It's just the power that you have access to. You can use it any way you want to, but you have access to that power. Now go ahead, the surreal experience.
But instead, an experience or feeling.
But it's an experience, and it got that word feeling in it. An experience or a feeling. So that's why you want to create a feeling state. Going back to our spiritual, what was that word we used? Or the second page?
Surrender.
Spiritual surrender. So when you go into your spiritual surrender, you can have a better surreal experience because it ain't about judging people or objects. You want to experience where you're living in a dream state. So you can create more. Now, don't they tell you in those what? Self-help groups that your reality is created by your subconscious mind. You ever heard that?
Yes.
Sub means below. Now, what's below your consciousness? Now, your consciousness, people think of their brain. But if something's below it, they're talking about your body. The vibration is coming from the body that's creating your reality. So the breatharian experience, if you want a better life, that's why this is the granddaddy of them. It is. You're expanding the vibration of your body. That's why you're a genius. You're thinking with the whole thing. If there's a blockage here, it might be a blockage in the matrix, in your reality. How do you move that? Do I got to go over there and move it? Nope, I move it from right here. That's what's happening. Wow. This is awesome, ain't it? Wow. And we just scratching the surface. This is a minor city power, to eat or not to eat. In this retreat, we even gonna go into immortality. We might as well go ahead and say it.
Come on, break it down.
Cells ain't supposed to die. You living in a dream state again. Whoa. That's a nightmare to die, to be sick. That's a straight up nightmare. Ain't living no life. Spitting up all over the place, body hurt, feet all cramped out. I'm just saying, that's a nightmare. Feel good to be able to move again, holler again, smile again. Feel good. You don't even feel your body no more because you ain't got one. You just dreaming it into existence. Wow. That's heavy, ain't it?
Elitom, are you familiar with Ramana Maharshi's teachings?
Yeah.
Well, he's my teacher with the United Government.
Oh, look at how you manifested that.
Yeah. There's some little conundrum in my mind of trying to bring together the things that you say and the things he says, because there's such a strong similarity, and yet there's this difference
Right.
regarding the body.
Right.
Can you say anything about that? Because he's so much about just who am I and just being present and paying no attention to the body.
Wait, can I answer that? Can I
Yeah.
answer that?
Yeah.
Because that teaching was then,
Yeah.
and this teaching
Yeah.
is now, it's like the VCR and the iPhone.
Yeah.
Because people weren't really ready for that.
Yeah.
The teacher right now that's alive, that's what I'm saying. The teacher right now that's alive that's saying, who am I? You're God. Who am I? You're God. When you get to that, you understand that you're the body and you're the weather and that you're the fire in Australia and you're everything. So he's saying the state of Turiya is the dream above the dream. You have the illusion, in the Om symbol. There's what separates the dream from the dreamer, and then you have the state of Turiya, which is the dreamless dream, which is where he's at. So Ramana was pointing you there, and now there's an evolution of our
Right.
thought tons. We're
But there
speaking
were
our vibrations
Breatharians
up.
then.
All of us are one. Every generation is the same generation. It's sort of like the autobiography of a yogi. And he's saying, the electricity is in the spinal cord way over 100 years ago. Now, I ain't read the autobiography of a yogi till about a month ago.
And see, he would argue, he would say, no, it's not in the spinal cord.
Well,
I don't know he would argue because he didn't really talk.
now listen at this. And that could be proved
Yeah.
now, you know what I mean? But what we're saying is, and what she's saying is, you don't want to grow too fast over to people that's in you at a certain time. There's a message for the people at that time, so the
Right.
teacher's going to be at a certain level.
Right.
As things upgrade, like we got more information and knowledge, those teachers probably won't, they got good messages, but their actions will have to change in order to keep up. It's sort of like sports. Sports is always upgrading. There'll be somebody who'll break a record and say, I don't know who could break that. And then about a couple years, 5 years out of line, somebody else will come out, and they probably can't keep up with the players that's out now.
In autobiography, I think it was autobiography Yogi, he was talking about him and his master were in a room, and the mosquitoes were in there biting him.
Right. It's a
Right?
great chapter.
Yeah, and his master allowed the mosquitoes to bite him so he could present a teaching of being able to transform so that the mosquitoes wouldn't bite you. So he allowed himself to be at that lower level of vibration and frequency so that he could teach his student.
Right.
Okay,
How-
we're talking
how
about
to
the net. We want to
transform.
talk about the net though with that, because it makes it a bigger point. He complained, Master, I need a net. I need a mosquito net. They're biting me. They're biting me. They're biting me. And so the master like finally gives him a net. And then when he realizes he got bit anyway, because that was his mind, then he takes away the net, and then he doesn't get bitten. So you right back to what you're saying. It's all mind stuff.
All mine.
It's all mind stuff.
And whatever the teaching is the master is presenting the information that's at the level of
Yeah.
the recipient. And
Yeah.
and
You know, that don't-
we're just at a different level now, so things are changing.
It's like this.
That don't make sense to me, but it still looks to me like it's two different methods
I have
of achieving the same goal.
It could be.
And I'm wondering, how do you, I mean, I know ultimately we don't choose our path that's chosen for us, but we have some impression of choosing it, you know what I mean? How do
But-
we know whether to go in that direction?
Wait, I just want to speak to that because I'm a big Ramana, and Ramana came to me on the inner, and that's how this came here. That got gifted to me. Like I didn't go out and buy that. The thing he wants you to do is not get into the techniques. It's not about eating or not eating, or it's not about your spinal column or not your spinal column. Everything is God.
No, it's
He's
not
saying-
asking, it's
he's
just about being
saying-
present with and asking who you are.
Well, he's telling you, you're already God. You can sit and contemplate that so that you can have the experience of it, or you can just start acting like it right now. I'm God, do I want to eat this? I'm God, do I want to wear this? I'm God, do I want to throw trash on the floor or pick it
So
up?
the message isn't different, it's the same.
It's the same. I would say it's the same. It's about consciousness.
Even Lord Shiva,
And-
when he was speaking to Krishna, if you look into the Shiva Puranas, when he was discussing being a devotee of Shiva, he was basically telling Krishna, through reply when he was speaking to his wife Shakti, or Kali, whatever you want to call her, that basically even he had to teach the Maya, the illusion, basically in his incarnation as Shankara, to basically further bring people along the path of Buddhism to the point of realization. But then he further concluded with his disciples, O Bhajam, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do the Sanskrit, but he basically was telling them to worship Govinda. Worship Govinda, for none of your intellectual knowledge will satisfy you at the end of time. But what I'm getting at with that is that in that paradigm, Lord Shiva was also teaching what was relevant in that present moment, that people were able to grasp.
No, I understand all that, I'm not arguing any of that, I'm, sorry, I'm feeling a
No,
little.
you-
I'm a bit bombarded, it's a lot of energy coming at me, so.
Yeah. Food, if you stop eating, then you can feel the answers coming into you. Like he said, like you don't have to read a book, you don't have to follow a technique, you don't have to have a teacher. Yeah.
Yeah, let's drop it right now, it'll come. It'll come in time.
I love
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And see, and like when I travel around dealing with the different cultures, everybody's talking the same thing. They're using different words due to their culture, due to their religion, but at the end of the day, they're talking the same thing. Whether it's Shiva and Shakti, Adam and Eve, Og and Og, Osiris and Isis, that male and female energy, they both come together for a marriage, a connection.
Semantics.
Yep, it's the
So
semantics.
like well, 5 plus 5 equals 10, but so does 6 plus 4.
Mhm.
Very good analogy.
Yeah.
That was great.
Absolutely.
That
Man.
was great.
And this is what we're dealing with again. The surreal reality, above and beyond, or in addition to. We don't want the other reality if you don't want to. That's why it's called an addition to. In other words, you're of the world, but you're not part of the world. Is that how it
You
goes?
still have to live in it, but you don't have to be of it.
Yeah, live in it, but you don't have to be of it because you're another reality.
In the world, but not all.
You don't have to
Yeah, that's how it goes. Now listen at this. When I was in India, I gave a message about governments. And, and I was traveling at the time. And since I was over there, I'm part of the what? U.S. government. So if something happened, if I got stranded over there, by me being a citizen of America, I could go to the embassy and get the benefits that will take care of me being over there. Now, anybody can't do that because you have to be a citizen of that government. Is this making sense? You go to the embassy and they'll, like if I lost a plane ticket, they'll give me one to make sure I make it back home because you're a part of it. Now there's many different governments on the planet and every government supposed to a degree take care of their own. Now there's the ancient government, as we could say. We look at it as being not here no more, but it is here. Or we should say the Breatharian government. There's an energy or force that's here, or a government that takes care of its own citizens. But you must be a member of it. And it's on top of all the other ones. Is this making sense? That's why when the average person do try to come into breatharianism, why am I not being sustained? We want to talk more about this. You're not a citizen of that government. It don't recognize you yet.
Oh, yeah. That is it.
That's it. It don't recognize you. But when you become a citizen of it, it's its responsibility to look out for its own.
Wow.
That's deep.
Ooh.
That's deep.
I feel so secure in doing this now. Because I keep feeling like, are you sure I can do this
Right.
now? Are you sure? And then it's like, I just feel so much sadness with having to go back and think about eating anything again.
Right.
I'm just like, please let me just do this.
And that's its responsibility. Do you got the paperwork and everything else? That's what's happening.
It's really just like take
Right.
We should give out passports.
Breatharian passports.
Yes, you have the right to travel
Right.
to the supported government.
You'll have your picture in it. It'll be a drawn-on picture of a happy face.
You can go to the surreal realm.
Right. That's what's happening. The recognition, do it recognize you? That's what's happening. So that's why when I go to different places, oh, I'm sustained here in Israel, sustained here in Egypt, sustained here in India, no matter where you go, but that shows that that government, that energetic government is all around the planet, but it only support its own.
It's true, like if I go to Tallahassee and I don't even have friends there, they recognize my energy and they'll take care of me. I only had a little bit of money, I wasn't planning on eating that much, just one banana a day.
Right.
And they ended up saying, here, I'll get you this, I'll get you this. I said, I don't need it. I'll get it and I'll make some food with you. And that's what I did with everybody there.
Right, absolutely.
I didn't need to worry, and I didn't, because God said, you don't need to worry, you need to trust me. So I said, okay, I gotcha.
Taking care of his own.
I didn't bring my painting stuff, somebody bought me some paint and a canvas.
Oh man, so
The
this is
second day
good.
I was there, and then an investor said, hey, I have a restaurant that I want to open with organic fast food, and I need some recipes. And I said, oh, I've been making a recipe book. And I wanted an investor because I said the universe, could use me in that market to help people.
Right.
Getting them into expanding their consciousness.
So she having fun.
Plants is better than eating animals. It's at least taking the step.
She having fun.
You can't get them to breastfeed
Well, that's
without the plant.
Well, that's what we're dealing with again. The energy of
They
things.
talk to you about
Taking our time. Allowing the forces to work on us where you at. This message fits everybody. You understand? It ain't all or nothing, but it's taking your time. You'll see the results take place as you start coming more and more into it. It'll take its toll on you, transform you, user-friendly. So this is good. So you can live in a surreal reality, an addition or an add-on, a dream state.
I think the hard transition point is getting into that new energetic group. From being in like this lower vibration, but you're expanding your consciousness.
Right.
And you're trying to get into that energy group that's gonna support you.
That's going to support you.
Right.
To know that you're being
And I
supported.
think that's where
That's the hardest part.
That's where a teacher comes in or something.
We'll talk more about that
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what we need to talk more about.
Because there is an initiation time period.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
And I think maybe that's where we are needing more teachers to step up who are ready to do that.
Absolutely.
And they can see it happening, and then that's becoming their dharma, and they're feeling it in their body because they're seeing what is happening. And
That
they can
feeling
do something
state.
about it.
Man, this is good, ain't it? Man, oh man. So now y'all ready for some good Qigong? Y'all ready to get into that feeling state? That's what it's about. So you can feel it just not in your head. Ain't that what it was saying? The surrendering all the way through the body. And the more and more that vibration come through the body, it will stay there. And then that's how you know you're a citizen of the other community. Because you're always in the frequency. The frequency just don't quit on the border of America. It don't. It's all over the planet. High vibration. You live in a high vibrational planet. That's heavy. That's a whole nother perception of thought.
But it's the other things on the planet who is lower. Well, we almost make
That's a
them
thought
lower.
again.
Yeah, right. I got.
Here we go. Right,
Don't paint that on your canvas if you want to live in utopia.
Exactly.
Or
right.
in the fantasy land.
Right.
I just did a video when I was up at Fisherman's Wharf, and the point I was making, this is a high energy vortex. It didn't matter what the people was eating. It didn't matter what they were serving. It didn't matter who was smoking, who was doing this. Everybody, that was energy, the gathering of the people. High vibration, and I was being sustained. That's all I saw. You see the thought process, how you keep developing? There wasn't no low vibration. But that's a whole other piece of your development.
I've noticed that.
Whoa.
It's really whatever you're thinking.
It don't end. Right.
Right.
Literally.
Oh, man, this is good.
Like how you didn't have to go to the Himalayas to become a Breatharian, you became it in Cleveland, Ohio.
Right there. Didn't even have to go. So when I'm in the Himalayas, I'm one of the teachers over there. They coming out the mountains to see me. And I was like, how you gotta go to the Himalayas. When I was over the Himalayas, it was totally different. Right. I was up there in the village killing people. We was having fun. That's all we was doing. It's a thought. From thought to reality. You can do it anywhere. But that shows you the consciousness. The consciousness will back you up anywhere when you're sincere. It will. I was sitting there in that little Akron, Ohio apartment doing Qigong. Right, ready to blow up. All this energy here, all this power. Yep. It's all over the place. That's the other government. Supporting you no matter where you at. Wow. This is heavy, ain't it? And it goes higher and higher and higher.
It's actually pretty light.
Yeah. Oh, man, see?
The other stuff's heavy.
A friend, that's one of my favorite words that a friend up north said, that's light, Elitom, that's light. And I'm like, oh, yeah. So that's me again talking to myself. I got to change my vocabulary. But anyway, that's what we'll be working on. So right now, let's do some good Qigong. And matter of fact, let's take a little 5-minute break so you can stretch up. And then we'll get back and do some good Qigong.
We can also go for a walk.
Oh, yeah. Get that energy moving. And we're going to talk about that movement. Movement is more powerful than what you eat or don't eat. Oh, we got to talk about that one. Oh, man, we got a lot of teachers in this. We're going to be working with this. The movement. Oh, man.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. You're awesome. Good reading. Once again. La 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 la.